We're learning new details about a shooting that left a teenage student dead in Baton Rouge yesterday evening. Welcome to 9 News at 5:30. I'm Liam Combs. EBR Schools says 17-year-old Amari Walker, the victim in a deadly shooting yesterday evening, was a student at Northdale Academy. Baton Rouge police say they found Walker dead yesterday around 5 on Wood Street. A second victim was hurt but is expected to survive. We're told both were seated inside a vehicle in the driveway when the shooting happened. This investigation is ongoing.
On January 10th, 2026, at approximately 5 p.m., the Baton Rouge Police Department responded to a shooting on Wood Street in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where 17-year-old Amari Walker was found dead from gunshot wounds inside a vehicle parked in the driveway of a residence. A second occupant was injured and transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Law enforcement identified the location as a residential block near Hollywood Street and confirmed the investigation remains active with no arrests reported at the time. Authorities have appealed to the public for information and tips through the BRPD Violent Crimes Unit and Capital Region Crime Stoppers. The circumstances leading up to the shooting, including motive, the presence of potential suspects, and the events immediately preceding the attack, remain unclear. This case unfolded amid a series of shootings in Baton Rouge that day, highlighting a broader pattern of gun violence under investigation by local police. This is Facebook Crime. We deliver clear, factual, and up-to-date true crime stories. Subscribe and turn on notifications to stay informed on the latest cases and investigations. Amari Walker was a minor at the time of death. Limited personal details were released publicly in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. Law enforcement confirmed Amari's age and identity, but did not disclose information regarding school enrollment, employment, or family background. Law enforcement also did not clarify whether Walker resided at the Wood Street location or was visiting at the time of the incident. What is known is that Walker was seated inside a vehicle when the shooting occurred. The absence of publicly released background details has left questions about Walker's daily routine, social connections, and movements leading up to the incident. Investigators have not indicated whether Walker was known to police prior to the shooting. Wood Street is a residential area within Baton Rouge, characterized by single-family homes and low traffic during late afternoon hours. At approximately 5 p.m., the neighborhood would typically experience moderate activity, with residents returning home from work or school. No official statement indicated whether neighbors witnessed the shooting directly, though authorities confirmed that multiple 911 calls were received reporting gunfire. The shooting took place in a driveway, not on the roadway itself. This detail suggested to investigators that the victims were stationary at the time of the attack, rather than passing through the area. According to preliminary information released by the Baton Rouge Police Department, the officers responded quickly after reports of gunfire. Upon arrival, they located the vehicle and confirmed that both occupants had been shot. Emergency medical personnel attempted life-saving measures on Walker, but pronounced the teenager dead at the scene. The surviving victim was stabilized and transported to a hospital. Law enforcement later stated that the injuries sustained by the second victim were not considered life-threatening. Investigators secured the scene and began collecting evidence. Shell casings were reportedly found in and around the vehicle, though police did not specify the caliber of the firearm used or the number of shots fired. The vehicle itself became a central piece of evidence, with forensic teams examining it for bullet trajectories, fingerprints, and potential DNA. BRPD classified the incident as a homicide and transferred the case to the Violent Crimes Unit. Detectives canvassed the neighborhood, speaking with residents and searching for surveillance cameras from nearby homes or businesses. Police also reviewed any available traffic or security footage that could show suspicious vehicles or individuals entering or leaving the area around the shooting. At the scene, officers did not locate a suspect. No weapon was recovered, and police did not announce any immediate arrests. Investigators confirmed that the shooter or shooters had fled before officers arrived. In the days following the shooting, BRPD released limited information to the public. Authorities confirmed the identity of the victim and reiterated that the investigation was ongoing. Police did not disclose whether the shooting appeared to be targeted or random. The surviving victim's statement, if provided, was not released publicly. Investigators have not clarified whether that individual knew the shooter or could identify any suspects. The lack of public details suggested that detectives were working to protect the integrity of the investigation. BRPD urged anyone with information to contact the Violent Crimes Unit or Capital Region Crime Stoppers, emphasizing the importance of community tips in solving the case. As of the latest available reports, no motive has been confirmed. Investigators have not stated whether the shooting was the result of a dispute, retaliation, or an attempted robbery. The location of the vehicle in a driveway raised questions about whether the victims were ambushed or approached deliberately. Authorities also did not confirm whether the shooting was connected to the other violent incidents reported in Baton Rouge that day. That day saw multiple shootings across different neighborhoods, including additional injuries and at least one other fatality. While the timing raised concerns about a broader pattern of violence, police did not announce any direct links between the cases. Following the shooting, the Wood Street area experienced an increased police presence. Residents reported concerns about safety and the frequency of gun violence in the city. While law enforcement did not release information about memorials or vigils, the case drew attention on social media, where community members shared calls for justice and information. Local news outlets reported on the shooting as part of a broader coverage of violence in Baton Rouge that weekend. Reports consistently stated that Walker was found dead inside a vehicle and that a second person was injured. Media outlets also emphasized that no suspects had been identified and that the investigation remained active. Despite coverage, details remained limited, reinforcing the number of unanswered questions surrounding the case. As of the last available update, no arrests had been announced in connection with the death of Amiri Walker. The case remains open, with detectives continuing to follow leads, review evidence, and await potential tips from the public. Authorities have not released aggregate forensic findings, nor have they confirmed whether any persons of interest have been identified behind the scenes. The death of Amiri Walker on Wood Street represents an unresolved homicide within Baton Rouge's ongoing struggle with gun violence. While investigators have established the basic facts of the case, the time, location, and manner of death, critical details remain unknown. The identity of the shooter, the motive behind the attack, and the events leading up to the shooting have yet to be publicly clarified. Until further information is released or arrests are made, the case remains an open investigation, dependent on continued police work and public cooperation. Thanks for watching. Did you find this case informative? If you want more true crime stories, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay informed on the latest cases and investigations.